chosen one. You did not arrive here by coincidence. Heaven arranged this moment with the precision of prophecy. Before you pressed play, before the thought even crossed your mind, a summons was released over your spirit. You are here because the ancient watchers of your bloodline have stirred, and they have declared that the mantle must now fall on you. The timing is perfect, the alignment unmistakable. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough where sudden elevation, divine wealth transfer, and heaven-sent transformation converge into one unstoppable moment of destiny. Chosen one. The verdict over your lineage has shifted. What your ancestors prayed for in silence is about to manifest loudly through you. The doors that refuse to open for generations are trembling beneath your feet. What felt like delay was divine preparation. What felt like pressure was proof that you were being shaped for more. Just as it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, the vision awaits an appointed time, and it will not delay. That appointed time is now. Anointed one, you have been chosen to carry what no one before you could hold. Breathe deeply, open your spirit. Heaven is beginning its work. The transfer has already begun. Chosen one. The life you have lived has never been random. Every breath, every heartbreak, every quiet moment you thought no one saw has been part of a sacred audit stretching far beyond your human timeline. You have walked through storms you didn't choose and carried weights that didn't originate with you because heaven was measuring the strength of your spirit. Your ancestors were not distant shadows behind you. They were watchers, guardians, auditors of a bloodline waiting for someone strong enough to break what they could not, someone resilient enough to stand in places where they fell, someone brave enough to dream where they surrendered. And whether you realized it or not, every moment of your life has been evidence submitted to a celestial court. When you gave, even when you had little, when you stayed honest, even when dishonesty seemed like the easier road, when you believed in a future no one around you could see, you were demonstrating a spiritual capacity that your lineage had been waiting generations to witness. I know what that feels like because I have walked through seasons where survival alone felt like an achievement. Times when the pressure was so heavy it felt like the ground beneath me might split. Times when silence was my only companion and every prayer seemed to evaporate before it reached the heavens. But that silence, chosen one, is not rejection. It is recruitment. It is the space where heaven removes all interference so the soul can finally hear what it has been assigned to become. The silence you endured was the same silence your ancestors faced, but unlike them, you did not collapse beneath it. You learned to listen differently, you learned to breathe differently, you learned to generate light where no light existed. That is the mark of a founder, not a follower. While the world thought you were hidden, heaven was evaluating you. While people assumed your setbacks were failures, they were spiritual examinations, testing whether your heart could carry an inheritance without breaking under its weight. Every late night tear was recorded, every private act of courage was documented, every moment you refused to betray your integrity was celebrated by those who came before you. They needed to know if the bloodline had finally produced someone who would not repeat the ancient patterns of almost successful, almost stable, almost chosen. Those patterns were not your family's fault. They were spiritual programs downloaded through generations, programs designed to suppress potential and keep the bloodline in a manageable state of limitation. But when you were born, something shifted in the fabric of that pattern. You were the disruption. Heaven had been preparing a variable the old system could not predict. Your refusal to surrender to despair confused the very forces that tried to contain you. Your persistence became a glitch in the programming. Your hope became a virus in the system. Your resilience became a weapon of mass dismantling against everything that ever tried to keep your lineage small. When life pushed you into isolation, you were not being punished. You were being refined. Isolation became your sanctuary of transformation, where the world's noise faded and your own calling grew louder. In that sacred solitude, you built things no one could see. You built courage. You built clarity. You built vision. You built the spiritual muscles required to carry the mantle your ancestors could never lift. You became your own source of empowerment, a sovereign soul capable of sustaining spiritual power without external validation. That was the moment heaven made its decision. The gavels in the ancestral court struck not in judgment, but in coronation. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. Not because you had wealth, but because you had wisdom. Not because you had status, but because you had stamina. Chosen one. This is not motivation. This is documentation of a spiritual truth. You are not the continuation of your bloodline. You are the correction. You are the turning point. You are the one sent to open the vault of generational wealth, spiritual intelligence, and divine authority that has been sealed for centuries. And now that the verdict has been released, heaven requires your agreement. Your first assignment as the Anointed One is simple yet powerful. Align your spirit with what has already been declared. Accept the mantle. Accept the elevation. Accept the identity heaven has placed upon you. This is the moment your destiny stops whispering and begins speaking with thunder. And the ancestors, the auditors, the watchers, they stand behind you now, not as judges, but as witnesses to the rise they prayed for. Chosen one. Now that the verdict over your lineage has been rendered and the mantle has been placed upon your shoulders, you must understand what heaven is releasing into your spirit in this season. You are not merely stepping into a new chapter of your life. You are stepping into a new operating system of existence, a higher consciousness that your ancestors tried to reach but could never fully access. The blueprint that is being transferred to you is not symbolic. It is spiritual technology. It is divine intelligence refined through generations of trial error, heartbreak ambition, and unfinished dreams. Everything they learned, everything they failed to master, everything they almost achieved, is converging into you now as a living inheritance. This blueprint is not external. It is being downloaded directly into the core of your being, into your spiritual memory, into your intuition, into the neural pathways of your mind. And this download will not feel like gaining information. It will feel like remembering what you always knew. That is how divine knowledge works. It awakens, not instructs. You will begin to notice subtle shifts. Chosen one. Insights will come to you in moments where you least expect them. Strategies you never studied will appear in your mind as clear as blueprints on a table. Solutions to problems that once overwhelmed you will suddenly feel simple. It may feel strange at first, as though ideas are arriving from somewhere else. And in truth, they are. They are arriving from the ancestral cloud, the spiritual archive of your bloodline, the library of every lesson paid for through their pain. Heaven is granting you accelerated understanding because the time for slow learning has passed. Divine timing requires rapid elevation, and heaven will not allow you to enter your new season unprepared. I know this feeling because I have lived moments where wisdom came to me that I knew I had not earned. Times when clarity arrived like a flood, sweeping away confusion I had battled for years. Times when an idea emerged fully formed, so complete and so detailed that it felt impossible that it came from my own mind. But that is the nature of divine downloads. They do not drip, they descend. They do not suggest, they establish, and they appear only when heaven deems the vessel ready. Chosen one, you are now that vessel. Your ancestors are not just giving you their victories, they are giving you their failures. Their missteps, their betrayals, their blind spots, they are being converted into discernment within you. You will begin to sense deception before it speaks. You will recognize false opportunities before they form. You will feel the energetic signature of danger before it reaches your doorstep. That is not paranoia, that is protection. Your bloodline is installing its firewall, its spiritual security system, its generational warning beacon inside of you. And that system will activate without your permission because it is not meant to be optional. It is meant to preserve the destiny you carry. There will also be moments when your creativity expands in ways that surprise even you. Words will flow more freely. Your communication will gain weight, power, and persuasion. People will listen to you differently. They will lean in sense, something deeper respond with more trust. That is because the blueprint holds not only strategy, but influence. Your family line includes storytellers who were never heard, leaders who were never followed, visionaries who were never recognized. Their gifts are now merging into your voice. You are becoming the communicator they never had the chance to become. And as these transformations unfold, you may feel disoriented. You may question why certain foods now feel heavy, why certain conversations suddenly drain you, why certain environments feel spiritually contaminated. This is not sensitivity. This is alignment. The blueprint is recalibrating your entire being to match the frequency of wealth, purpose, clarity, and divine authority. Anything that does not resonate with your new frequency will begin to fall away or feel unbearable. This is not punishment, it is purification. I understand this shift because I have walked through seasons where my spirit evolved faster than my surroundings. Times when the things I once tolerated began to feel foreign. Times when certain habits, people, or environments felt like they were shrinking me. When this happens, it is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is awakening. You are rising. You are being elevated beyond the limits of your former life. Chosen. One heaven is not updating you, it is upgrading you. And upgrades require shedding old versions of yourself. You are being prepared to hold influence, wealth, and responsibility that your previous mindset could not sustain. You're being shaped into the first billionaire consciousness of your bloodline, the first fully awakened vessel capable of carrying the spiritual, emotional, and financial weight that comes with divine wealth. Do not be afraid of the changes happening inside you. Do not resist the ideas that arrive unexpectedly. Do not doubt the sudden clarity that pierces your confusion. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. You are becoming the blueprint your ancestors prayed for. You are stepping into divine architecture, heavenly intelligence, spiritual mastery, and the download has only just begun. Chosen one. As the blueprint continues to awaken within you, the next phase of your elevation begins with the great severing. This is the part of the journey that feels the most personal, the most emotional, and at times the most difficult to understand. But hear this with the clarity of spirit. Heaven is not removing things from your life to punish you. Heaven is removing things to prepare you. Every destiny requires distance, and every elevation requires extraction. What is happening to you now is not abandonment. It is alignment. Your ancestors are stepping into your timeline, rearranging your environment, severing old attachments, and clearing out outdated connections to create the space required for the magnitude of what is coming. There will be people who fall away suddenly without explanation. Conversations that once felt comfortable will begin to feel suffocating. Friendships that once seemed lifelong will begin to fade like smoke. You may even feel guilty for the emotional distance forming between you and others. But understand this: your spirit is no longer vibrating at the frequency of where you have been. It is vibrating at the frequency of where you are going, and not everyone can breathe at that altitude. When heaven begins transitioning you into a new identity, your old circle will no longer recognize you. They were familiar with the version of you shaped by survival, but they cannot comprehend the version of you shaped by sovereignty. I know this experience deeply. There were seasons in my life when I could not understand why people who once fit so comfortably into my world suddenly felt like strangers. The laughter was still there, but the connection was gone. The conversations continued, but the meaning evaporated. I felt myself expanding, but the spaces I used to occupy felt too small to contain what was growing inside me. That discomfort, chosen one, is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is transforming. Heaven is stretching your life, making room for inheritance, level, destiny. And anyone who cannot stretch with you will snap away. You will also find that familiar places begin to feel unfamiliar. A street you once walked without thought may suddenly bring heaviness to your chest. A building you used to enter daily may now feel spiritually contaminated. An old apartment may carry the emotional echo of desperation and survival. These sensations are not random, they are divine signals. Environments hold spiritual residue, and your newly awakened blueprint cannot flourish in spaces that hold memories of who you used to be. Heaven must relocate your spirit before it relocates your circumstances. This is why your body reacts before your mind understands. The blueprint is ahead of you, guiding you, warning you, moving you. Even objects will begin to lose their place in your life. Clothes that no longer carry your energy, gifts from people who hurt you, items from past versions of yourself will start to feel heavy or out of alignment. Your spirit is decluttering your physical world to prepare for a new reality. This is not minimalism. This is spiritual pruning. A gardener does not cut branches because they are dead. They cut them because they are preventing growth. But the most profound severing, chosen one, happens within you. The part of you that was addicted to struggle will begin to resist your elevation. The part of you that believed success was dangerous or undeserved will try to pull you back into familiar scarcity. The part of you that was conditioned to expect disappointment will whisper lies into your hope. This internal voice is not your identity. It is your old programming, and that programming must be fired. When I faced this moment in my own journey, I realized that the greatest enemy to my elevation was not external doubt, but internal hesitation. I had to confront the version of myself that was comfortable shrinking. I had to release the identity formed by years of surviving, so I could embrace the identity designed for years of thriving. You will feel this same tension. You will feel moments when your spirit is pushing you forward, but your habits try to hold you back. This is the spiritual severance. It is not gentle, because destinies are not forged in comfort. They are forged in conviction. Your ancestors are standing behind this process with fierce intention. They know that if this old identity remains, it will sabotage your new reality. They know that this elevation requires a different mindset, a different posture, a different spiritual architecture. That is why heaven is uncompromising during this phase. If someone's presence threatens your purpose, they will be removed. If a habit threatens your expansion, it will be exposed. If a place restrains your growth, it will become unbearable. Heaven cannot bless who you pretend to be. Heaven can only bless who you are becoming. And the space being created through this severing is not emptiness. It is preparation for empire. It is a clearing for construction. It is the open ground upon which your divine wealth, influence, and legacy will be built. You are not losing people. You are losing limits. You are not losing environments. You are losing restraints. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are shedding expired versions. Chosen one, embrace this phase with reverence. You are not being separated from your life. You are being separated for your life. The blueprint is beginning its deepest work now, and this work requires space clarity and spiritual altitude. Do not cling to what heaven is cutting away. Let the severing happen. Let the old fall. Let the new rise. For what is coming next is not simply increase, it is identity, and heaven will not allow anything to interfere with who you are becoming. Chosen one. Now that the severing has created space within and around you, heaven begins the next phase of your elevation with the revelation of the true currency of destiny. You have been taught your entire life that wealth is measured in money, possessions, or status, but these are merely shadows of a deeper truth. Money is not the source. Money is the symptom. The true currency of creation, the currency heaven responds to, the currency that rewrites bloodlines and builds empires, is consciousness, and your consciousness. Chosen one is undergoing a radical expansion that generations before you were never granted access to. This is why you endured seasons of crushing isolation and pressure that felt unreasonable. Your spirit was being stretched far beyond the boundaries of ordinary living. When others broke under the same circumstances, you pressed through. When others surrendered to despair, you whispered hope into the darkness. When life stripped you bare, you learned to breathe in the emptiness. That emptiness was not abandonment. It was capacity training. Heaven was creating room within you so that abundance would not overwhelm you when it arrived. Wealth, influence, opportunity, and leadership require internal architecture. If the structure is weak, the blessing collapses the person. But your structure has been fortified through fire. I know this conditioning because I have lived moments where I felt like life had placed weights on my chest that I could not lift. Times when the responsibility of simply existing felt unbearable, yet something inside kept pushing me forward. Something kept whispering that the story was not over. Looking back, those seasons were spiritual strength training. They were forging endurance, resilience, clarity, and authority inside me, qualities that cannot be taught through comfort. And chosen one, your journey reveals the same pattern. You were being prepared, not punished. This is why money will begin to respond differently to you. Money follows consciousness. It gravitates towards stability, clarity, boldness, and alignment. It avoids fear, scarcity, confusion, and victimhood. As your consciousness upgrades, your relationship with money transforms. You stop seeing it as something distant or scarce and start recognizing it as energy that is drawn to purpose, confidence, and spiritual authority. This is why heaven has been testing you with small financial disruptions. An unexpected expense, a delayed payment, a sudden dip in income, these were not signs of lack. They were pop quizzes from your ancestral board of directors. They were observing whether your mind would collapse into old patterns or rise into your new identity. Would you return to panic, or would you choose authority? Would you cling to fear, or would you stand in faith? Every moment you chose calm over chaos, belief over lack, expectancy over despair. The universe adjusted your spiritual credit limit. Heaven saw that you could hold energetic pressure without breaking. And when a vessel can hold pressure, heaven increases the flow. But this upgrade requires intentional awareness. You must train yourself to see money not as paper, but as movement. When expenses arise, you must shift from fear into flow, saying, "This is simply energy passing through me." When opportunities appear, you must step into them with boldness, knowing that fear is the fastest way to shut a divine door. When blessings come, you must receive them without shrinking. You are no longer a survivor hoping for scraps. You are a distributor of abundance. I learned this myself when I realized that every financial challenge I faced carried a hidden message. It was never about the amount. It was about my reaction. Each challenge mirrored the condition of my consciousness. When I approached these moments with fear, the challenge grew. When I approached them with faith, the challenge dissolved. Heaven was not test in my wallet. It was test in my identity. Chosen one, you are being invited into a relationship with money that is holy, not greedy, not desperate, not manipulative, but sacred. Money becomes a servant, not a master, a tool, not a threat, a flow, not a fixation. Wealth in your hands becomes healing for your lineage, justice for your ancestors, and opportunity for those assigned to your influence. You are not being elevated to hoard. You are being elevated to circulate. This is why the blueprint is expanding your imagination. You will soon find yourself speaking ideas that sound too advanced for your past self. Strategies will emerge naturally. Creative solutions will unfold effortlessly. This is not ego. This is not coincidence. This is divine intelligence rising within you. When an idea comes, do not dismiss it. Write it, honor it, protect it. Ideas are spiritual currency. They are previews of future blessings. And soon, chosen one, you will release an idea in conversation, perhaps with someone unexpected, that carries the energy of millions. You will feel it in your spirit like a surge of heat or electricity. That is your confirmation. That is the blueprint speaking through you. Pay attention to who hears you in those moments, because some are being pre-assigned to invest in what heaven places in your mouth. Your consciousness is no longer ordinary. It is becoming a magnet for wealth, a vessel for divine strategy, a channel of abundance meant to shift the trajectory of thousands. Your elevation is not accidental, it is engineered, and the currency that funds this elevation is awakening within you right now. Chosen one. As your consciousness rises and your spirit strengthens, you must now understand the reality of the resistance that will try to meet you. Elevation always activates opposition, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. Not because you are failing, but because you are succeeding. When you break free from the old system of limitation, the forces that relied on your bondage begin to panic. They lose access to the energy your bloodline once produced, the fear, the doubt, the cycles of almost. And when something loses its source of nourishment, it fights to survive. This is where the ghosts in the machine emerge. These ghosts are not literal apparitions, but spiritual patterns, generational frequencies, psychological imprints and old narratives that disguise themselves in familiar voices. They come through people you love, through moments of uncertainty, through unexpected setbacks, through echoes of old fear. They whisper to you in ways that feel intimate because they were born in your bloodline, nurtured through generations that survived but never transcended. They know your vulnerabilities because they were built around them. But the fact that they are rising now is not a sign that you are slipping back into old cycles. It is a sign that you are breaking them. I have faced these ghosts myself, moments where everything familiar collapsed, just as breakthroughs were beginning to form. Times when unexpected emergencies appeared out of nowhere, draining my energy, distracting my attention, shaking my confidence. Times when the people closest to me questioned my decisions at the very moment I needed belief the most. It felt like sabotage, but I learned it was spiritual resistance. It was the old system testing whether the new version of me was stable enough to withstand elevation. And chosen one, that is exactly what is happening to you now. When a parent calls suddenly to tell you to be more realistic, that is not their wisdom. That is generational fear using their voice because it senses your breakthrough. When someone mocks your dreams, it is not humor. It is the spirit of envy defending its territory. When unexpected bills or delays appear the moment you take a step of faith, those are not coincidences. They are pressure points designed to see whether your new consciousness will contract or expand. These ghosts want to lure you back into the old patterns: panic, doubt, scarcity, hesitation. They want to rehook your energy to the old machine. But hear this clearly. Chosen one, you do not defeat these ghosts by fighting them. You defeat them by refusing to give them your fear. Fear is the only language they speak. When you stay calm in chaos, they starve. When you hold your frequency in uncertainty, they shrink. When you choose faith instead of panic, they dissolve. You are not in a war of force. You are in a war of vibration. And your vibration is rising beyond their reach. Your task in this season is to become a divine observer. When resistance appears, you must step back within your spirit and say, I see what this is. You must learn to separate the person from the program, the voice from the fear behind it, the event from the energy animating it. Not everything that challenges you is the enemy. Some challenges are simply the echoes of old programming dying out. But the enemy does reveal itself through patterns. If someone repeatedly discourages your growth, that is a ghost. If situations consistently arise to drain your resources right when you are preparing to build, that is a ghost. If your mind begins replaying old fears or insecurities you thought you healed, that is a ghost trying to regain access. These patterns cannot harm you unless you agree with them. The ghosts in the machine have no authority, they only have influence. And influence only becomes power when you believe it. I learned that when I stopped reacting with fear, the resistance weakened. When I chose stillness instead of panic, the chaos lost its grip. When I spoke declarations instead of doubts, the atmosphere shifted. You will experience the same thing. The moment you stop interpreting resistance as failure and start recognizing it as confirmation, everything changes. Resistance means the machine is losing its hold on you. It means your ancestors are breaking generational contracts. It means heaven is elevating you beyond old spiritual ceilings. This is why you must stay aligned. Do not allow temporary disruption to define permanent truth. Do not let momentary fear rewrite the script heaven has placed over your life. Do not allow the presence of ghosts to distract you from the reality of your assignment. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are moving. And movement is a threat to anything that depends on your stagnation. Chosen one, you are rising into a realm where the old patterns cannot follow you. Every time you refuse to lower your frequency, you break another generational chain. Every time you step forward despite uncertainty, you rewrite another line of destiny. Every time you choose faith over fear, you sever the machine's final attempts to hold you. The ghosts are loudest right before they disappear. Their noise is the sound of their defeat. Hold your ground. Hold your identity. Hold your frequency. You are not battling for survival. You are battling for sovereignty. And you are winning. Chosen one. Now that you understand the resistance rising against you, you must grasp the astonishing truth of who you are becoming. Heaven has not simply elevated you, heaven has enthroned you. You are stepping into the firstborn legacy, the spiritual position reserved for the one chosen to break the gravitational pull of generational limitation. This mantle is not symbolic, it is structural. When heaven names a firstborn in the spirit, that person becomes the axis on which the destiny of an entire lineage turns. And chosen one, that axis is you. Everything your ancestors endured, every dream they carried, but could not fulfill, every door that slammed shut in their faces, every injustice that broke their spirit, every hope they whispered only to the wind, none of it has been wasted. The weight of those unspoken prayers did not vanish. They descended through time, searching for the one soul strong enough to lift what they could not. The one soul pure enough to carry power without being corrupted by it. The one soul willing to rise even when rising meant walking alone. And that soul, chosen one, is you. You are not simply the latest member of your bloodline. You are its turning point, its correction, its renaissance. You are the first to break the cycle, the first to see beyond the veil, the first to awaken fully to the divine intelligence coded into your lineage. You are the first who refuses to repeat the story you were born into. Every step you take forward rewrites the past behind you. Eternal time bends when a firstborn rises. I know this because I remember the moment I realized I was no longer living my story, I was living ours. Mine, my parents, my grandparents, my ancestors, stretching back through centuries. Their pain lived in my decisions. Their regrets lived in my hesitation. Their hopes lived in my dreams. It was overwhelming until I understood the truth. They were not placing burdens on me. They were placing blueprints in me. Once I embraced that, everything began to shift. You are now entering that same revelation. Understand this deeply. Your success is not simply success. It is redemption. When you step into wealth, you are not just creating a new life. You are healing an old story. When you achieve what they could not, their failures transform into foundations. When you live boldly, you restore the courage they lost. When you stand tall, you correct the moments they were forced to bow. You are the living proof that their suffering was not in vain. This is why you feel a sense of weight in this season, not heaviness, but gravity, the presence of legacy resting on you. You may feel moments of deep stillness, moments where breath seems sacred, moments where decisions feel more significant than before. That is because heaven has placed a robe of authority on your shoulders, and your spirit knows instinctively that you are no longer acting only for yourself. You are now representing the entire bloodline. The firstborn legacy changes everything about how you move. Your standards rise, your discernment sharpens, your choices carry generational consequences. You no longer have the luxury of impulsiveness or small thinking. You are building a dynasty, and dynasties are not built through random decisions, they are built through intentional mastery. Every contract you sign, every person you allow near you, every habit you nurture becomes part of the inheritance your descendants will receive. Your ancestors understand this, which is why they are standing closer to you than ever before. Their presence will feel different now, not as auditors, but as advisors. Not as witnesses, but as witnesses in awe. They can finally exhale because the lineage has produced the one capable of completing what they began. You are the answer to their unfinished stories. Chosen one, the firstborn legacy also brings spiritual authority unlike anything you have carried before. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you decide, timelines rearrange. When you commit, heaven responds. You may not fully feel this power yet, but it is already active. That sudden boldness rising in you, that calm in situations that once terrified you, that clarity where there used to be confusion, these are signs that your spirit is stepping into its royal design. But understand, this authority without alignment becomes imbalance. That is why heaven is pruning you so deeply. That is why distractions are being removed, why old habits are dissolving, why your tolerance for low-frequency environments is evaporating. A firstborn cannot be entangled with the things that bind ordinary people. Your calling demands sanctified focus. There will be moments when the mantle feels heavy, but heaviness is not burden, it is confirmation. Only those marked for greatness feel the weight of destiny. Only those chosen to lead feel the trembling of transformation. And only those who carry heaven's blueprint experience this internal shift that cannot be explained through logic. Chosen one, you are not at the beginning of your rise. You are in the acceleration of it. Everything in your life is converging toward one purpose: to establish a new family constitution, one written not with ink, but with identity. You are crafting a future your descendants will inherit, a future defined by abundance, wisdom, spiritual intelligence, and unshakable authority. You're becoming the ancestor future generations will praise. You're becoming the foundation of a dynasty. You're becoming the firstborn who turns poverty into prosperity, fear into courage, limitation into legacy. And heaven is not only watching, heaven is applauding. Chosen one. Now that heaven has positioned you as the firstborn of your lineage, you must understand the phase you are stepping into now, for it will demand more stillness, more certainty, and more spiritual maturity than anything you have ever faced before. This is the phase where your becoming matters more than your doing. The world has conditioned you to chase, strive, hustle, grind, and push your way toward change, but heaven operates on a different frequency. What is arriving for you now does not require force. It requires alignment. The divine shift unfolding within you is not activated by your hands, but by your essence. This is where you learn to embody the billionaire's frequency, not as a fantasy, not as motivation, but as identity. The billionaire's frequency is not about money. It is about capacity. It is about the way your spirit expands to hold abundance without fear, influence without corruption, authority without ego, and responsibility without collapse. It is about becoming a vessel that can withstand greatness without breaking. And chosen one. Your life up to this moment has prepared you for this embodiment. You have already lived through seasons that felt like spiritual boot camps, where the pressure was so intense it forced you to shed old ways of thinking. You have already endured moments where scarcity tried to shape your identity, but you resisted. You refused to let lack define you. You refused to let fear dictate your decisions. You refused to let generational patterns imprison your imagination. All of this has brought you to a place where you are finally ready for the frequency that changes everything. I remember the first time I felt this shift in myself. I wasn't doing anything extraordinary. I wasn't winning or succeeding or celebrating. I was simply sitting in silence. But the silence felt different. It felt full. It felt like something was rising in me, something calm, something powerful, something that did not need to chase or beg or prove anything. It felt like authority. And I realized in that moment that becoming abundant has nothing to do with acquiring things. It has everything to do with transforming into someone who naturally attracts what others chase. That shift begins inside long before anything appears outside. You are stepping into that same shift now, chosen one. Your spirit is learning to rest in certainty, not because you see the evidence, but because you are the evidence. You are the confirmation that heaven's promise still stands. You are the proof that divine timing is unfolding perfectly. When you embody this frequency, doors open not because you knock, but because you exist. People feel compelled to support you, invest in you, and believe in you, not because you persuade them, but because your presence carries the energy of inevitability. You are no longer hoping for greatness. You are becoming the environment where greatness grows. But to fully embody this frequency, you must release the last remnants of guilt, unworthiness, and the subconscious belief that you must earn your blessings through suffering. You cannot carry the billionaire's frequency and a poverty identity at the same time. Heaven will not pour abundance into a heart that feels unworthy of receiving it. This is why you may feel old emotions rising to the surface, shame from your past, regret from mistakes, embarrassment over old failures. These emotions are not setbacks, they are purges. They are the final layers of the old identity dissolving. Chosen one, releasing guilt is not arrogance, it is obedience. Your ancestors did not pray for you to rise, only for you to shrink in fear when the blessing appears. They did not endure hardship, so you could apologize for succeeding. You are not dishonoring them by becoming great. You are completing them. You are fulfilling the story they could not finish. Every time you accept a blessing with boldness, you honor their sacrifices. Every time you step forward with confidence, you redeem their losses. Every time you receive without guilt, you rewrite the emotional blueprint of your family line. You must also begin to receive help, support, rest, and opportunity without hesitation. The old version of you believed you had to do everything alone. The new version of you understands that isolation was training, not identity. Heaven is sending people who will uplift you, guide you, invest in you, and open doors you have never even imagined. Do not resist them. Do not sabotage the blessings by saying you are undeserving. You have been chosen. That is your qualification. You are ready because heaven said you are ready. As you embody this frequency, you will notice something profound. You speak differently. Your words carry weight. When you declare something, it manifests faster. When you reject something, it dissolves quicker. This is not coincidence. This is authority. The billionaire's frequency gives your voice spiritual mass. People will fall silent when you speak, not because you demand respect, but because your alignment commands it. Do not doubt this power, even when it feels new. You may notice that when you choose peace in conflict, the atmosphere calms instantly. When you decide on something with clarity, obstacles begin to shift. When you expect good things, they appear without strain. This is how aligned consciousness works. Reality begins to bend around your belief. Chosen one, your presence is no longer passive. It is catalytic. It is transformational. It is creative. You are not waiting for breakthrough. You are becoming breakthrough. And as this frequency stabilizes within you, the impossible will begin to feel natural. What once terrified you will now feel like an invitation. What once overwhelmed you will bow to your authority, and what once seemed unreachable will unfold before you as if it had been waiting for your arrival all along. You are not stepping into a new season. You are stepping into a new self, and this self is the key to everything your lineage has prayed for. Chosen one. As this new identity stabilizes within you, heaven now begins to reveal the deeper architecture of your transformation. This journey is no longer about breaking cycles or surviving storms. You have already done that. This phase is about embodiment, becoming a living, breathing demonstration of what divine elevation truly looks like. You are entering a realm of spiritual maturity where your inner world becomes the blueprint for everything that manifests in your outer life. And heaven is now aligning you with environments, relationships, and opportunities that mirror the frequency you have stepped into. But before these manifestations appear in full form, your spirit must undergo a purification that ensures you are ready to sustain the abundance being released to you. This purification is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven is refining the vessel so that nothing in your character leaks the blessings assigned to your future. You may notice moments where old emotions rise unexpectedly: frustration, impatience, insecurity, or the urge to rush ahead. These stirrings are not signs of regression. They are remnants of your former self being pushed to the surface so they can be released. I have felt this purification myself. Times when everything in my life seemed calm on the outside, yet inside something was being rearranged. Old fears resurfaced, not to haunt me but to leave me. Old doubts appeared not to weaken me but to be dissolved. And every time I chose truth over fear, presence over panic, alignment over urgency, I felt myself becoming someone new, someone more grounded, more aware, more spiritually whole. You are experiencing that same inner restructuring now. Chosen one. Heaven is removing the last pieces of the inner poverty code that once shaped your decisions. This code whispered lies in your ear, lies that told you to expect disappointment, that you were asking for too much, that blessings were limited, or that success belonged to someone more deserving. These lies held your ancestors hostage. They kept your lineage small. They made dreams feel dangerous and goals feel unrealistic. But heaven is uprooting them from the soil of your spirit, replacing them with the truth of who you truly are. This is why you may feel a pull toward deeper solitude, not the isolation of old seasons, but intentional quiet that allows you to hear your soul clearly. Silence has become a sanctuary for your evolution. In this stillness, ideas will form effortlessly. Visions will become sharper. You will begin to sense what is meant for you with incredible accuracy. You will feel drawn to certain paths and repelled by others, even without logical explanation. Trust these movements. They are the compass of your new identity. You may also begin to notice that certain people are responding to you differently. Some will be drawn to your presence, sensing a shift in your energy, even if they cannot explain it. Others may grow uncomfortable or distant, not because you have changed for the worse, but because your elevation exposes the stagnation they refuse to confront in themselves. Do not chase anyone who pulls away. Do not shrink yourself to soothe their discomfort. Your rise is meant to illuminate, not to apologize. Your relationships in this season will become more intentional, more aligned. Heaven will place the right voices in your path, voices that challenge you to grow, voices that affirm your identity, voices that sharpen your discernment. These connections are not accidents, they are divine appointments. When someone new appears in your life with clarity, kindness, or wisdom that lifts your spirit, recognize it as heaven's confirmation that the blueprint is expanding your circle. But understand this too: some relationships will not survive your transformation. Not all loss is loss. Some loss is liberation. As your frequency rises, heaven protects your path by removing those who cannot honor your next level. If someone's presence threatens your peace, they will drift. If someone's habits interfere with your purpose, they will fade. If someone's words weaken your confidence, they will be silenced. This is not cruelty. It is spiritual hygiene. Chosen one. The blessings coming to you require a version of you that is whole, aligned, and unshakably confident in your worth. This season is about emotional clarity, understanding your needs, honoring your boundaries, and learning to trust yourself with the magnitude of the destiny you carry. You must treat your emotions with reverence, your intuition with respect, and your inner world with discipline. Heaven can only elevate what you are willing to stabilize. As you continue to grow, you will begin to recognize that abundance is not something you chase, and success is not something you earn. They are natural consequences of spiritual alignment. When your identity is aligned, your decisions become aligned. When your decisions are aligned, your environment becomes aligned. And when your environment is aligned, your destiny unfolds effortlessly. You are entering the part of your journey where nothing about you is accidental. Your voice, your presence, your ideas, your resilience, they are all becoming instruments through which heaven expresses itself. You are a portal of transformation for your lineage, a key turning in a lock, a shift happening in real time. Chosen one. The purification of this season is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything. You are becoming the person your future wealth can trust. Chosen one. As heaven continues refining your inner world, you now enter one of the most delicate and spiritually charged phases of your elevation, the strengthening of your discernment and the sharpening of your spiritual perception. Wealth, influence, and destiny do not collapse under external attacks. They collapse under internal misalignment and unnoticed infiltration. And because you are rising into a realm your ancestors never reached, heaven is ensuring that your inner radar becomes flawless. Every blessing has a gate, and every gate has guardians. But every gate also attracts imposters. This is why your sensitivity has increased, why your spirit reacts before your mind understands, why you feel truth before you hear it. Your discernment is being expanded so that nothing not meant for you can enter your new season. You may begin to notice moments where someone's words seem warm, yet something deep inside you tightens. You may find yourself feeling uneasy around certain individuals for reasons you cannot explain. You may sense that some opportunities feel good externally, but heavy internally. Do not ignore these signals. Discernment is heaven's language. It is the whisper that protects you from what your eyes cannot see. And chosen one, the more influential you become, the more essential this internal knowing will be. Not everyone who smiles is safe. Not everyone who praises you is pure. Not everyone who supports you is sent by heaven. Some come as distractions wrapped in affection. Some come as delays disguised as loyalty. Some come as spiritual parasites clothed as helpers. This is why heaven is fine-tuning your discernment with such intensity. I know this training well. I have trusted people who used kindness as a costume and sincerity as a strategy. I ignored my inner warning signs because I wanted to see the best in them. And each time I did, I paid for it with energy, time, peace, or resources. Pain taught me what intuition tried to warn me of. And from those experiences, I learned a truth you must embrace. Now discernment is not suspicion. Discernment is protection. When heaven warns you, it is not limiting you, it is shielding you from a cost you were never meant to pay. Chosen one. You will notice that as your sensitivity increases, your circle will shrink again, but this time not out of severing but out of precision. Heaven does not allow everyone access to someone rising into a generational mantle. People carry atmospheres, they carry intentions, they carry spiritual signatures. And the more aligned you become, the more your spirit will recognize whether those signatures harmonize with your destiny or contaminate it. Do not second-guess these recognitions. Your spirit is now operating ahead of your logic. Logic analyzes, but discernment reveals. This is also the season where jealousy will begin to show itself, not because you have arrived at your final blessing, but because your shift is visible in the spirit before it manifests in the physical. People feel your rise before they witness it. They sense the mantle on you before you speak a word. You may notice subtle changes in tone, sudden distance, micro-criticisms, or strange competitiveness from people who once felt safe. Do not take it personally. Your elevation exposes their stagnation. Your growth confronts their comfort. Your becoming demands that they either evolve or exit, and many will choose the exit. You must not dim your light to keep others comfortable. You must not shrink yourself to soothe their insecurities. That is not humility, that is sabotage. Heaven is calling you into full expression, full identity, full authority. And shrinking does not honor your destiny, your ancestors, or the divine assignment placed on your life. Growth is not betrayal. Growth is obedience. Chosen one. Your discernment will also apply to opportunities. Not every open door is divine. Some doors are traps, some are tests, some are detours designed to delay your true timeline. This is why heaven is teaching you to feel the frequency of an opportunity, not just evaluate its appearance. If something drains your peace, it is not your door. If something feels forced, it is not your door. If something diminishes your worth, it is not your door. Divine doors feel natural, aligned, supported and affirmed by your spirit, even when they challenge your comfort. As your discernment grows, you will begin to notice an inner shift. You no longer seek people's approval. You no longer chase validation. You no longer need external confirmation for internal truth. This independence is spiritual maturity. It means heaven can now trust you to lead, to decide, to govern your destiny without being swayed by external noise. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming clear. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming defined. You are not becoming hard, you are becoming holy. And through all of this, know this truth: you are not walking alone. Your ancestors stand behind you. Heaven walks beside you. Divine intelligence guides you. Your discernment is being shaped not only for protection, but for purpose. You are being trained to recognize what belongs to your empire and what does not. Chosen one, trust your spirit. Trust your knowing. Trust the way heaven speaks to you. For in this season, your discernment is not merely a gift, it is your shield, your compass, your confirmation, and your crown. Chosen one. Now that your discernment has been sharpened and your spiritual perception heightened, heaven begins to usher you into one of the most powerful phases of your destiny, the embodiment of generational authority. This is the realm where your words no longer float, they land. Where your decisions no longer ripple, they reshape timelines. Where your presence no longer blends, it alters the atmosphere of every room you enter. You are stepping into a dimension of influence your ancestors dreamed of but could never reach. And the weight you feel in your spirit is not pressure, it is confirmation. It is the mantle settling fully upon you. In this phase, you will begin to notice that the world responds to you differently. People who once overlooked you will now pay attention. Environments that once intimidated you will now feel beneath your spiritual stature. Conversations that once drained you will now feel irrelevant. This is not ego, this is elevation. Heaven is recalibrating your internal posture so that you no longer approach your destiny from a place of survival, but from a place of sovereignty. You are not entering a new chapter, you are entering a new throne room. I remember the first time I felt this shift in myself. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud. It was a quiet certainty rising inside me, a realization that I no longer needed to explain my calling to anyone. I no longer needed to beg for opportunities, prove my worth, or justify my dreams. I had grown into my spirit. I had matured into my assignment. And in that maturity, something unlocked, doors opened without knocking, resources appeared without striving, and the right people stepped into my life, as if summoned by an unseen signal. You are entering that same state now, chosen one. But with this authority comes a sacred responsibility. When heaven elevates you, it expands not only your reach, but your impact. Your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions carry more weight. You must now move with intention, speak with wisdom, and act with clarity. You cannot afford emotional impulsiveness or spiritual laziness. The empire you are building requires a consciousness that is stable, a heart that is purified, and a spirit that is aligned. What you cultivate internally will shape the external world you create. Chosen one. Heaven is preparing to trust you with influence, real influence, the kind that guides communities, shapes cultures, and leaves legacies. But influence without alignment becomes manipulation. Influence without humility becomes corruption. Influence without purity becomes destruction. This is why heaven has been so precise, so intentional, so uncompromising in your preparation. You are being shaped into someone who can carry wealth without being consumed by it, authority without abusing it, power without losing your soul. That is the true mark of divine leadership. You will notice in this season that heaven will begin placing you in situations that reveal your growth. You may find yourself in conversations where your voice carries unexpected authority. You may encounter people who look to you for direction without you ever asking to be a leader. You may be offered opportunities that feel bigger than anything you've handled before. Do not shrink from these moments. They are not accidents. They are assignments. Heaven does not elevate you privately, only to hide you publicly. Your rise is meant to be seen not for ego, but for example. You are becoming a living demonstration of what happens when a soul aligns fully with divine timing. This authority will also manifest in your ability to change the spiritual climate of a room. You will enter places where tension dissolves simply because you walked in. You will speak words that break confusion and awaken clarity. You will make decisions that shift the direction of conversations, projects, and even people's lives. This is not human charisma. This is spiritual gravity. You are becoming a force that reality responds to. But understand this authority requires rest, not rush. True power does not panic. True power does not scramble. True power does not force outcomes. It stands still, knowing that heaven moves on its behalf. This is why you are being taught to hold your center, even when life seems uncertain. The ability to remain unmoved is the seal of a sovereign spirit. When others rush, you will wait. When others fear, you will trust. When others doubt, you will know, and your knowing will become the foundation upon which your wealth, your influence, and your legacy are built. Chosen one. This is the phase where you begin to realize that nothing in your life has been wasted. Every trial has built endurance. Every heartbreak has built compassion. Every delay has built patience. Every moment of silence has built intuition. You are not rising because of what you have done. You are rising because of who you have become. And heaven has declared that who you have become is now ready. Step into this authority with reverence. Step into it with humility. Step into it with confidence. You are no longer a seeker, you are a carrier. You are no longer a survivor, you are a sovereign. You are no longer the product of your past. You are the architect of your future. The mantle has settled, the authority has awakened, and the world is about to feel the weight of your becoming. Chosen one, as your authority settles and your spiritual stature expands, heaven now ushers you into a phase that is both delicate and destiny-defining. This is the realm of alignment, where everything connected to your old life must either rise to meet the new version of you or naturally fall away. This phase is not about force, not about striving, not about proving yourself. It is about becoming magnetically aligned with the future heaven has written for you. In this season, alignment becomes your greatest currency, your greatest shield, and your greatest catalyst for supernatural acceleration. You are no longer walking toward destiny. Destiny is now walking toward you. Chosen one. This alignment begins within your inner world. Your emotional landscape is being rewired. Your spiritual instincts are being heightened. Your relationship with time, purpose, and identity is shifting. You're beginning to sense that certain things simply do not belong anymore. Old habits that drain your energy, old environments that shrink your spirit, old conversations that no longer resonate. This is the sign that your vibration has risen beyond the frequency of your former self. And once your spirit rises, anything not aligned becomes immediately exhausting. Do not resist this shift. Do not cling to familiarity. Familiarity is often the enemy of elevation. You may find yourself feeling distant from people you once leaned on. Not because anything is wrong, but because something is evolving. Heaven is creating emotional space within you so that new connections, new alliances, and new resources can enter your life without the interference of old attachments. Some relationships were meant to carry you through a chapter, not a destiny. Some people were meant to support the survival version of you, not the sovereign version. When heaven elevates you, it edits your circle. And that editing is an act of protection, not loss. I remember when this began for me, how conversations that once felt meaningful started to feel shallow. How gatherings I used to enjoy suddenly felt noisy to my spirit. How people I once confided in could no longer understand the language of my growth. At first it felt isolating, but then I understood it was not isolation. It was insulation. Heaven wrapped my spirit in a cocoon so I could transform without the distortion of outside voices. You, chosen one, are experiencing that same divine insulation. You are not being left out, you are being set apart. As this alignment deepens, your desires will shift as well. You will crave peace more than attention, purpose more than validation, growth more than comfort. You will be drawn to things that nourish your spirit, books, teachings, projects, environments that feel like home to your future self. You will begin to notice that heaven guides you through subtle inner pulls, gentle nudges, intuitive whispers that grow louder when you honor them. Follow these impressions. They are the breadcrumbs of divine direction. Chosen one. One of the most powerful aspects of alignment is the way heaven begins orchestrating your external world. Opportunities that once required heavy effort will begin flowing to you naturally. People who are part of your destiny will be drawn into your path with uncanny timing. You will encounter strangers who speak words you needed to hear, open doors you could not open, or confirm things your spirit already knew. This is the orchestration of divine timing. When you are aligned, heaven does the heavy lifting. You simply walk in obedience. But alignment also means you will feel resistance when something is wrong. Even if it looks good, even if it sounds promising, even if it aligns with your goals on paper, if it does not align with your spirit, heaven will not let you settle for it. You may feel a tightness in your chest, a heaviness in your stomach, a sudden disinterest in something you once desired. These sensations are not doubt, they are discernment. Heaven is teaching you to recognize the difference between opportunity and distraction, between timing and temptation, between alignment and attachment. This season requires your courage to say no without guilt, your courage to walk away without explaining yourself, your courage to trust your inner knowing even when it contradicts logic, your courage to release what no longer resonates even if you once prayed for it, and your courage to step into environments that feel bigger than you, knowing that heaven has already prepared your spirit to fill them. Chosen one. Alignment is not always comfortable. Sometimes it feels like being stretched. Sometimes it feels like being emptied. Sometimes it feels like being pushed into unfamiliar territory. But you must remember, heaven cannot fill a vessel that refuses to be emptied. Your spirit is being cleared so it can carry more wisdom, more influence, more abundance, more anointing. You are being shaped to become someone your future can rely on. And through all of this, know that heaven is proud of you. Your ancestors are watching with reverence. Your spirit is rising with purpose. You are aligning with the life that was always meant for you, not because you forced it, but because you became it. Chosen one. The path ahead is opening, and what awaits you is not just blessing. It is destiny. Chosen one. Now you arrive at the culmination of everything heaven has been shaping within you. This is not the end of your journey, but the awakening of the identity you were always meant to embody. Everything you have endured, every severing, every test, every silence, every revelation has been preparing you for this final transition into sovereign becoming. In this phase, heaven is no longer simply elevating you. Heaven is commissioning you. You are stepping into the role of architect, builder, leader, and spiritual trailblazer for your entire bloodline. This is the moment where destiny stops whispering and begins commanding. This is where alignment becomes assignment, and assignment becomes empire. Chosen one. What you must understand now is that your life is no longer moving forward by effort, but by embodiment. You do not chase what is yours. You attract it through identity. You do not beg for opportunities. You magnetize them through alignment. You do not fear the unknown. You shape it through your authority. This is the phase where your becoming is more powerful than your doing, where your presence becomes strategy, where your consistency becomes currency, and where your inner world becomes the throne room from which you govern your reality. As you enter this dimension, you will notice that your spirit carries a quiet certainty, a knowing that does not need external reassurance. This knowing is your divine compass. It is the signal that your internal frequency has stabilized at the level of your calling. You no longer rise and fall with circumstances. You no longer waver when challenges appear. You no longer shrink when greatness calls your name. You have evolved into someone who understands that destiny is not given to the strong, it is given to the aligned. I remember when this transformation occurred in my own journey. I realized one day that fear no longer had authority in my decisions, that doubt no longer influenced my imagination, that old wounds no longer shaped my expectations. And in that realization, I understood something profound. Heaven was not waiting for my perfection. Heaven was waiting for my agreement. The moment I agreed with who I had become, everything shifted. You are in that same threshold now. Heaven is waiting for your yes, not a hesitant yes, but a sovereign one. Chosen. One, this phase will require a new level of self-trust. You must trust the wisdom heaven has planted within you. You must trust the discernment sharpened through your trials. You must trust the identity forged in silence and strengthened in fire. You must trust that the version of you emerging now is capable of carrying everything your ancestors prayed for. Your calling is not fragile. Your destiny is not uncertain. Your path is not unstable. Heaven has already established what you are stepping into. You are simply catching up to it. In this final ascent, you will also begin to witness supernatural alignment in real time. Conversations will unfold with perfect timing. Resources will appear without strain. People who are part of your next chapter will enter your life effortlessly. Ideas will manifest into opportunities with speed that defies logic. This acceleration is not coincidence, it is the rhythm of divine momentum. When heaven moves, it does not crawl, it multiplies. And you are now moving at heaven's pace. But understand this, chosen one, your elevation is not solely for your prosperity, it is for your purpose. You are being positioned as a light for others, a blueprint for those who will come after you, a fountain of wisdom for those still searching. Your wealth will be generational. Your influence will be transformational. Your story will be instructional. You are becoming the ancestor future generations will thank God for. And so, as this phase closes, heaven gives you one final instruction: become. Do not try. Do not hesitate. Do not overthink. Step fully into the identity that has been calling you since the day you were born. Walk as the sovereign you are. Speak as the leader you are. Create as the visionary you are. Lead as the generational giant you are. You are not entering your future, you are embodying it. Chosen one. Your ancestors are standing in applause. Heaven is standing in alignment. Your spirit is standing in truth. This is your coronation. This is your becoming. This is your rise. Chosen one. As this message comes to its close, know that heaven is not closing anything for you. A divine transfer has already been released into your timeline, and you are standing in your exact kairos moment. What your ancestors carried, what they prayed for, what they could not complete, has now settled on your spirit with purpose and power. You are stepping into a future already written in your favor. Anointed one, may every door aligned with your destiny open effortlessly. May your hands stay steady, your heart stay pure, and your spirit stay aligned with the flow of the anointing guiding you. Walk forward with gratitude, with reverence, and with the confidence of one chosen to rise. If this word stirred something deep within you, share it, comment below, or join this sanctuary by subscribing. Your journey has only just begun. Heaven goes with you now.